Okay, so the first thing that I want you to know is there's no wrong answer and there's no bad answer.
Okay.
And I want you, like, do you see how I'm not shouting, but I have a strong voice. I'm not whispering. I want you to have a strong voice.
Okay.
Okay. I've got some questions here. Did I prepare you at all? Do you have any idea what I'm going to ask you? No? Okay. Hello, my love, and welcome back to the Energy Expansion Podcast. As always, I'm so happy that you're here. And today feels quite different than any of our other episodes. And we are nearing our way to 30. Once this is recorded and said and done, this actually might be our 30th episode. And so you may have noticed, if you've been hanging out with us for any length of time, that up until this point, Energy Expansion, the podcast, has been completely solo. Every episode has been me, Dani, here with you. And I've toyed with the idea and have gone back and forth around bringing on guests. I've been in my industry for over a decade, and the coaching, teaching, healing space is full of the most extraordinary human beings. So I'm really excited to bring on some of my business besties, some of my own mentors, some of my favorite people to learn from as time goes on. But when it comes to introducing guests, I thought that it would be really fun to introduce you to one of my absolute favorite human beings on the planet. And she's one of my favorite human beings for so many reasons. And I think one of the reasons she's my favorite human being is because she's one of the human beings that I made. So if you didn't know, I'm a mama of 3, and I will definitely bring on my other daughter at some point if she wants to do this. And my youngest is 3, so he won't be on for a while. But today, I'm very excited to introduce you to my daughter, who's going to be 12 next week. We're talking to an almost 12-year-old. So I'm going to welcome my daughter, Hayleigh Ray. Hi, Hayleigh.
Hi.
Are you excited to be here today?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool because there are a few podcasts that we had listened to as a family. When I say a family, I mean myself and really my daughters. My son's so little, he doesn't get a say in it. And before I even started the Energy Expansion podcast, my daughter Hayleigh was really curious about what podcasting looks like. And she's very, very talented. She's an incredible artist and lots of different forms of art. And she loves seeing our Energy Expansion podcast icon pop up on Spotify. And she so deeply desires to have her own songs and podcasts and art on Spotify. So excited for that and excited to bring her on. So Hayleigh Ray, you're going to be 12. What are you looking forward to with this next year coming up, since your birthday is right around the corner? What grade are you going to be in?
7th.
7th grade. And what are you most excited about when it comes to turning 12 and going into 7th grade?
I'm excited because I get to be in ASB this year. And I'm just excited to see my friends in the new school year, and I can't wait.
That's amazing. Okay, so for anybody listening who doesn't know what ASB is, can you tell them what that is? Do you know what it stands for?
Associated Student Body.
Associated Student Body. And how does one become a person in ASB? Like, how did that happen?
So you have to go through multiple stages. Your friends have to vote, and you have to write a speech, and then you have to do an interview. And then after that long process, after a few weeks, you get a confirmation email saying if you made it or not.
That is amazing. I remember that whole process on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being extremely nervous and 1 being not nervous at all. How nervous were you?
Like 5.
You were 5? Okay. Yeah. I love that for you. I just really admire you, Hayleigh, for your leadership abilities. I feel like every school that Hayleigh has been at, which is pretty crazy for somebody just going into the 7th grade, you would think that we were like a military family because my kids have switched schools so much, and it's really just been like us moving from one side of town to the opposite side of town, and then us moving from Northern California to Southern California, and then deciding that we were going to make the switch from public school to private school. So Hayleigh has switched schools a ton, and I feel like Hayleigh and my other daughter are just so resilient because every time they've found themselves in a new environment, they've done such a great job of acclimating and finding community. We've never actually talked about this before, I would imagine, and I felt a little bit guilty as a mom for all of the dramatic change, like from one year to another, specifically around, we sold our house in Livermore and then we moved to the Riviera courthouse. That sounds funny. It's not a courthouse, but like a house on a cul-de-sac in a court, right? And then we were only there for a little over a year, and then we moved to San Diego. What has that experience been like for you? Has that been really, really hard and you're just good at hiding it? Because it doesn't seem like it's been hard, but I would imagine that change like that is not easy.
Well, it wasn't that hard, and I'm really happy that we moved to San Diego to meet my best friend Briley. Because if we moved the year after or before that, I wouldn't have gotten to go to the same school as her, and then we wouldn't be best friends right now.
Oh gosh, I love that, Hayleigh. I love your heart. Do you know, when you're speaking right now to how it wasn't that hard, because now looking back, you can see how all of the dots connected?
Yeah.
What would you call that? There's a word that's coming to my mind. I wonder if it's coming to your mind.
No.
You don't know? It reminds me of being somebody with faith, someone who has faith, and someone who believes that
Whatever happens, it's going to be good.
yeah, whatever happens
it's
is
supposed to be.
exactly
Supposed to what happened.
Yeah. And a lot of, I feel like my belief system comes down to faith, and not just believing that good things are going to happen, but also having a relationship with and trust in God. Like trusting that there is a God that exists.
That will help me through whatever we do.
Yeah. Like even when it's hard, you have God you can lean on. I talk a ton about faith on the podcast, and a lot of our listeners feel very inspired by and curious about God and Jesus and faith. That's actually been, it's so interesting because that's not like the name of my podcast or necessarily the whole point of it, but a lot of people have reached out recently and just said that they don't feel like there's a lot of safe places for them as adults to learn about God and Jesus and to explore faith. And one thing that I feel very inspired by with you is that you're so young still, but it seems like you have such strong faith. I want to ask you a few questions about that, but is there anything about that you want to say?
Well, I like to always believe that whatever God does, it'll end up good. Like, even if it's hard at that moment, it'll be good in the end. Like, it was hard moving, but then when I met my friend Briley, I was happy that we moved.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't move, I would have never known her.
Totally. While we're on this topic, can you tell me about some of the ways that you feel most connected to God?
When I pray, I just feel really connected to him, because then sometimes he'll answer back by doing something for me, or like just anything.
Yeah. How often do you think you talk to God, even if it's just like a quick conversation?
Probably like twice a day, at least.
Yeah, same. I feel like in the little pockets of my day, just kind of acknowledging God's presence, or maybe I'll see something outside that makes me really happy and I'll feel like that's God's presence, and I'll just have a thought, not even like a full prayer, but I think something as simple as just like thinking the words, thank you.
Yeah, because like sometimes I realize that it's super good that we have a roof over our heads, and some people don't have that.
Yeah. I wish more people knew
how like it is, because
how good God is.
Yeah, because without him, none of this would be possible.
I don't know who I would be or where I would be without my faith. Is there anything else about faith, God, or Jesus that you think that people should know about, or that you feel is on your heart?
Well, God will always show up for you no matter what. He'll always be there for you. No matter if you're in your highest spot or in your lowest spot, he'll always be there.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to cry. I love you. Okay, let's talk big dreams and goals. You are a goal setter and a goal getter. You're somebody who dreams so big, and I love that about you, and you inspire me a lot. And I hope that that never changes. You'll always inspire me, but I hope that you, until the day you turn 200 years old, because you're going to be 200 years old.
I'm going to be 300 years
300 years old. I hope that you always know that it's safe to dream really, really big, no matter what happens or what people say. I'll start a little more open-ended and then we'll get specific. But when you think about big dreams and big goals, what are the first things that come to your mind or come to your heart?
Well, one of my goals are to get a scholarship to college.
Oh, a scholarship. You were recently asking about scholarships and how they work. Do you have any idea where you want to go to school? Do you know of actual college names?
I know like Harvard, Yale, SDSU. Yeah.
That list, you were correct. That is all correct. But I'm just giggling in the list of Harvard, Yale. Those are known as Ivy League schools. And then the third one you listed was SDSU, which for people who are listening who don't know, it's San Diego State. So it was just funny to go in that order. Do you know anybody who went to San Diego State?
You.
I did.
And also my teacher from 5th grade, Miss Mansour.
Oh, yeah. And you love Miss Mansour.
Miss Mansour was a really good teacher. She was one of my top 3.
She's the best. Maybe I can share this podcast episode with her.
Okay.
So do you want to go to any of those schools, or you just happen to know the names of those ones?
I just know the names. If I get a scholarship, I would look into the schools to see if I would like them or not.
Yeah.
And then also when I'm like around 17 or 18, I'll look at schools to go to.
Yeah. I love that. I wanted to go to, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you before. I wanted to go to, I think it's also considered an Ivy League school. It's called Stanford. Have you ever heard of Stanford?
Yeah.
It's up by like where grandma lives. I really, really wanted to go there. But in high school, my freshman year, do you know what freshman year is?
Your first year.
Your first year. Man, you're so smart. I don't think I knew these things when I was a week away from being 12. Yeah. So one of my teachers, when I told him I wanted to go to Stanford, I don't know if he was joking, if he was poking fun, but I didn't have the highest self-esteem. Do you know what self-esteem is?
No.
So self-esteem is like how you feel about yourself, and it is like a version of confidence. So to have esteem for something is to think of it really highly. And so if somebody has really good self-esteem,
then that means you think of yourself really highly. But then if you have low self-esteem, then you don't really believe that you can achieve great stuff.
Yeah. And so I think I had lower self-esteem. So he told me, he just made one comment when I told him I wanted to go to Stanford. And he said, "You're not smart enough to go there." And do you know what I did in that moment?
What?
I believed him, and I took it off of my dream list. And I decided that he should be right, and that he's an old man and he's a teacher and he must know better than I did. So I never thought about going to Stanford again after that. And I wanted to go there for a really long time. And all it took was one teacher to tell me that he didn't think I could, and I gave up.
Well, I mean, if you went to Stanford, you would have never met Dad, and then I wouldn't be here.
Okay. Oh, I love the way you look at everything. Yeah. And so I'm very happy that I went to San Diego. And we could say, I mean, sitting across from you right now, looking into your pretty eyes, we could say it all worked out okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Big dreams. Get a scholarship. Be known for your music. Have your music reach people. Have your music on Spotify and on the radio. You are very entrepreneurial. Do you feel like you're going to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah. One of my closer goals that I want is to have something on Etsy within the next, by the end of the summer.
Yeah. Okay. You literally read my mind, because when I first asked about goals and dreams, I wanted to start just really big picture, like open-ended. And then I was going to say okay, and then what are some closer goals like in the next year? And so having a business on Etsy.
Because for my birthday, I really want to get a 3D printer. And then if I do, I can like print stuff and then sell it on Etsy and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So 12-year-old turning 12, you want a 3D printer. What else do you want for your birthday? What does a 12-year-old want for her birthday?
Well, me as a 12-year-old, I want acrylic markers and then like Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I just love to collect them. And I just had played this new game that I hadn't heard of before, Mexican Train. And I want that for my birthday. And then, yeah, that's mostly it. And then I just want like gift cards and stuff.
Okay. Cool. If someone gave you $500 to go on a shopping spree, you could only pick one store to shop at. They gave you $500. What store would you choose? First of all, before you answer, you probably wouldn't want to spend it. You'd want to save it because you are the best saver. But if I forced you to spend your $500 at one store, what store would you choose?
Five Below.
Five Below. Why would you choose Five Below?
Because they have everything and it's like really cheap. And I just like Five Below. Like we went yesterday.
We did go yesterday. What did we get yesterday at Five Below?
We got my foundation because I was running out. And then we got like this really cute makeup kit for $5. It had 9 things.
9 things, $5. Man, I love that you love a deal. I think you get that from your mama. Do you know what just happened?
You didn't record any of that. It's fine. Everyone makes mistakes.
Oh my gosh. Do we just redo it?
Yeah.
All right. We paused in the middle of the recording to check the sound quality to make sure that our one mic was picking up both of our voices, and it was. And then I hit the record button, and we recorded a really incredible second half of the podcast. And right now, as we were wrapping it up, I realized that I needed to hit the record button a second time. So now we need to try to capture the second half of this podcast. It was so good. Does this just mean it's going to be even better now?
Yes.
Is that how we're going to view this?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what she says. She's in charge around here. She's the boss. Okay. We left off talking about Five Below, and then I think I had pulled up these questions. Let's get back to these fun, lighthearted questions. If you could describe me, your mama, do you believe, can we talk about this really quick?
Yeah.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
No.
You don't believe in reincarnation?
No.
Oh, okay, I do. This is interesting. I was going to call you when I first was introducing you. I forgot to say it. I was going to say, I think you're an old soul. But if you don't believe in reincarnation, you can't be an old soul, huh? Do you know what an old soul means?
Like that you've been on the earth before.
Yeah. And you don't think you've been here before?
Nope.
Okay. This is really cool. Okay, everybody. My 12-year-old does not believe in reincarnation, and I love that. And I do believe in reincarnation, and I love that. And I love that we can have differing beliefs on this. I don't even know why I brought that up. Oh, you know what I was going to ask you was, because I said, me, your mom, I feel like we've had conversations, and you get to change your mind, and you get to decide that you believe something different anytime. But we have conversations about, like, before we all got here, before all of our spirits were inside of these bodies, that we picked each other, that like you picked me to be your mom with God, and that you picked daddy and you picked your siblings. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
You do believe that. Okay. So if you picked me before you even got here and you knew I was going to be your mama, why do you think you picked me?
Because I saw you and Daddy and how you treated Cooper and Kona, and that you guys would be great parents, and that you guys deserved a child like me.
Oh, you really are such an incredible child. I always say that me and Daddy have the best kids in the whole world. We're so blessed. For people who don't know, when you say that you saw how we treated Cooper and Kona, who's Cooper and Kona?
Cooper and Kona are our dogs.
Our dogs. And if you could describe me in 3 words, how would you describe me?
Kind, funny, and like you always understand.
Understanding. Yeah, I like to think that I understand. I would describe you, I don't want to be repetitive, but you're also very kind You're also hilarious. You probably got those things from me.
Yeah, but that's because I'm your daughter, so then I get things from you and I get things from Dad.
You do. But I think you get your kindness and your funniness from me. What do you think you get from Dad?
Probably a little bit of his farts.
Oh, gross. Who's funnier, me or Dad?
It depends.
Depends on the day and the joke.
Yeah.
If I force you to pick one, we can't go on to the next question until you pick one.
Well, I don't know. Like, it kind of depends what we're talking about. Because if we're talking about certain things, like, you're really good at joking about it. But then sometimes Dad's really good at joking about it.
Yeah, I think we have different kinds of humor, too.
Yeah.
Like me and Daddy. Okay. My experience of you is that you are kind, you're hilarious, you're a really incredible leader. You're a really great leader at home and at school and with your friends. You're extremely thoughtful. You're very intuitive. Do you know what intuitive means?
Like, no.
You're very in touch with yourself and also what's happening around you and with other people. You can kind of pick up on how people are feeling and what people need. Does that feel true about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing about being a kid?
That we have more freedom than adults.
You want to trade places with me?
What?
I want to be you. It must be so fun being Hayleigh. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your current obsession? Something that you can't stop thinking about, something you can't stop talking about?
My birthday.
Your birthday. Your birthday's in just over a week.
Yeah.
What are we going to do for your birthday?
Pool party.
Pool party.
And then maybe a sleepover.
Pool party, maybe a sleepover. Spring that on me. On the actual day of your birthday, did you want to go get your nails done? I thought you mentioned that to me. Ooh, okay. What do you want to do with your nails?
French tips.
French tips, regular or like a color?
So either light blue or light green for the tips.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah.
That sounds very you. What do you think that adults forget about childhood?
They forget sometimes how to have fun. Like sometimes they'll be too serious when you could be having so much fun.
Can you tell when I'm having fun?
Yeah.
What are some things that you're like, oh man, are there things I do and you're like, Mom's having fun, or this is going to be a good day, or this is going to be a good afternoon? What are some things? Are there cues?
When you get us stuff that we wouldn't normally get, like sometimes when we get Slurpees, I'm like, this is going to be a good day.
When we get Slurpees.
Or like if we have a ton of treats, or sometimes if we go to church with you, you'll be really happy and then you'll just spend the rest of the day being happy.
Oh, church does make me happy. Let's do a little public service announcement because this episode is going to roll out this week. And you already mentioned it once, but for the sake of just making sure it's loud and clear, what's our favorite family treat?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Specifically, where do we like to go?
Menchie's.
We like Menchie's. You're not picking up what I'm putting down. Slurpees.
Oh.
Slurpees. And this Friday is 7-Eleven.
Free Slurpee Day.
Free Slurpee Day, folks. This Friday is July 11th, which is 7-Eleven, which means it's Free Slurpee Day. So if you have a 7-Eleven anywhere near you, you're welcome because Hayleigh and I are reminding you to go get your free Slurpee. I'm not going to be here with you guys. I'm going to be with a client. So you're going to have to remind Daddy to go. Maybe Daddy will actually, because he doesn't normally get Slurpees, but maybe he will, huh?
Yeah, because it's free.
Because it's free. Okay. What do you believe is your superpower?
Like telling when someone's hurting and then also being a great role model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So knowing when someone's hurting.
Yeah.
And then you do something.
Yeah.
You'll try to cheer them up or help them find a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Sorry. I sneezed all over you. What do you think is something positive that you've learned from me, that I've taught you, or that you've watched in me that I've modeled to you?
That you can always make up something you've done wrong to someone. Like if you forget to do something the next day or two, you can do it and then do something a little extra to make it up to someone. just because you missed the day that you said it doesn't mean that you can't do it and then make them still happy.
Yeah. Do I do that with you sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd also talked about in the part that we thought was recording, but I didn't actually hit record. You had talked about that it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
That mistakes are important.
Because then you can learn from them and then do it better the next time you do it.
I love that. Okay. So you're allowed to make mistakes and it's okay to not always get it right. And this is what I like to call, like, you can clean it up. Like I can say, hey, Hayleigh, I said that thing and I didn't really mean that. And I was frustrated about something that happened earlier in the day. And I took out that frustration on you and I didn't mean to do that. Right. Can I make it up to you? Can I apologize? Like, so you don't have to get it right all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's important that we know that. Something that a lot of my clients come to me wanting specific things. And one of those things that I hear more often than anything else is that as women, they want to feel more confident. And so can you tell me what confidence means to you?
To believe that you can do something. Or sometimes it helps if someone in your family or someone you're close to does it, and then it makes you feel more confident that you can do it because they're similar to you. And it will just be easier for you to get more confidence about it. Also, some things like to get confidence is to do stuff that you're afraid of that's smaller, what you're like really afraid of, and then you'll build your confidence up to do that big thing.
That is such great advice. When do you feel most like yourself? All right, love, real quick pause because I have to tell you about something that is truly life-changing. If you've been in my world for any amount of time, then there is a 99.9% chance that you have heard me talk about Energy Expansion Academy, which is my signature group coaching program where I teach the exact tools, rituals, mindset shifts that helped me create a life that goes beyond my wildest dreams and has transformed the lives of hundreds of women that I've had the honor of serving. And for the first time ever, it is now available as a self-paced experience. That means you get to move through this powerful transformation on your own terms, in your own timing, and in full alignment with your life. This is for the woman who's ready to shift her energy, elevate her mindset, and finally become the most confident, fulfilled, and successful version of herself. Without the hustle, without the overwhelm, and without the second guessing. If you've been feeling the nudge to join us inside of EEA, then this, my love, is your sign. You'll find the link in the show notes or just DM me EEA on Instagram and I'll personally send it your way. Now, let's get back to the episode that you came for.
When I'm with my friends or doing something I love, my family.
Yeah.
Well, I like to do arts and crafts and stuff. And I like to do paintings.
So being artistic.
Yeah.
So when you feel most like yourself. I think there's something about that. Artistry is a form of expression.
Yeah.
And when you're doing art, it's like you can't really mess it up, right?
Yeah, you can't mess it up. Because, say I was drawing something and then there's always a way to turn it into something even better than what you planned.
Yeah, it's a really cool form of expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Making something. I love that. And also when you're with people you love, it's almost like you can be anything. You can be crazy and wild and silly and you can make mistakes or you can be mad or you can be emotional and they're still going to love you.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can be all of yourself and you know that it's safe to be all of yourself. If you do something mean, you might get sent to your room or get your iPad taken away, but you know that you're not going to lose that love.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What makes someone magnetic to be around? Do you know what that means?
What makes someone you want to be around?
Yeah.
When they're funny or kind or if they do something mean, they don't just forget about it. They say sorry. When they're when they realize that it was actually mean to do. Because sometimes people will get really mad and not realize what they did was mean or frustrated you.
I recently heard something. It's like a statistic research was done, and there's 3 factors that make someone likable. I thought that was really interesting. And I was actually kind of struggling with that at first because I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing. Let me know if this makes sense. I don't think it's a good thing to want or need to be liked by other people.
Yeah, that's not good because
No.
like, if you like want it so bad, then you can change your whole identity to be like
Yeah, like you are less like yourself. I think that it's most important that you like you.
yeah.
And if you like you,
Then
then
it's
who
good
cares? Yeah, then like if other people like you, great. And if they don't, that doesn't matter. I once heard this saying that said, if everyone likes you, you probably don't like you. And I was like, oh, does that make sense?
Yeah.
But anyways, so factors to likability, but this makes sense from a business perspective. You have to have conversations. You got to have connections.
Yeah.
It's empathy. Do you know what empathy is?
Like to like feel bad for someone and not just be like, why are you sad? It's not that bad.
Yeah. Empathy has to do with feelings and understanding how people feel and why they feel a certain way, right?
Yeah.
So empathy. Authenticity. Do you know what authenticity is?
No.
Authenticity means it's what we've been talking about. It's like you being all of you.
Yeah.
You being authentic, you being real, like you not being a faker. And the third one is enthusiasm. Do you know what enthusiasm is?
Kind of.
Enthusiasm is like being genuinely excited and passionate.
Yeah.
So, do you like people who are empathetic, authentic, and enthusiastic?
Yeah.
What's something that you're proud of that most people don't know about?
I am proud to let my crazy self go.
Yeah.
Because, like, sometimes I hold it in, but then when I get home, I'm all crazy. Or,
So
like, when
you're-
I'm with my friends.
Okay, so what you're saying when you said let my crazy self go, you mean to let your wild and crazy and free self out, to
Yeah.
express that part of you.
Yeah.
I love that because I think that I have kind of like a wild, crazy side. Do you
Yeah,
think-
sometimes.
And I sometimes get nervous that people are going to think that I'm too much or I'm too loud or it's annoying or I've had people call me fake. If I let that part of me out, they're like, no one's actually really that happy or that bubbly or that enthusiastic, like that excited about stuff. And I'm like, but I am. And sometimes I hide that. So I'm proud of you for letting that out. What is some advice you give to a girl or a woman who's feeling stuck or scared to go after her dreams?
Just go for it, because the worst that's going to happen is that people won't like it. And even if people don't like it, do it because you like it.
Do it because you like it.
Because it doesn't really matter what other people think, because you just got to be you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. If somebody were to say, hey, Hayleigh, tell me about what your mom does, what would you tell them about my work and what I do for a living?
That you help people with their businesses and help them if they're stuck on something.
Yeah. Help them get unstuck.
Yeah.
Help them feel more confident and happy, for sure. What's your favorite thing about having a mom who runs her own business?
That I can look up to you because I really want to be an entrepreneur. And if, like, I didn't have you, then it would be harder for me because, like, with you, I can, like, you can teach me if I'm, like, stuck on something about it. And if I need ideas, because you've done so many things that you need to get, like, ideas, and you did it.
That's right. What is appealing to you about entrepreneurship? What about entrepreneurship excites you?
That I can be my own boss.
You can be your own boss. Yeah. If we started a business together, what would we do and what would it be called?
So I would like if we made jewelry together, and then we could pray and put some stuff into it, and people could tell us what they want us to pray for, and then we could call it HD Praying Jewelry.
That's good. So we should tell our listeners that I asked this question earlier. I wish we could have caught that response, and we really thought through it together, huh? you said we should do arts and crafts together. And I realized I love making jewelry and you love making jewelry. I love making resin jewelry.
I like resin too.
Yeah, with like the dried flowers and stuff
Yeah.
is so pretty. And then we could pray over that, just like you said, and we could make really pretty custom pieces of jewelry and infuse lots of good energy and prayers and things and send that to people. I love that idea. When do you feel most connected to God?
When I'm like by myself or like when I'm praying, it just helps me feel connected because there's no one else making noise and stuff to bother me.
If there's a girl or a woman listening who wants to start feeling more connected to God, what tips or advice would you give her to get started with her faith journey?
Well, maybe get like a devotions book or get like a Bible and read a little bit. Another way to feel more connected to God is to like some people, they won't really realize that just doing 5 seconds of praying can get you super connected. And some scriptures can help you in the Bible. And then another way is to like pray at least once a day and then get like alone time when you're praying. Because if you're with someone, it's distracting you and there's not really a big connection.
Yeah. All right. We're going to start wrapping up. Is there anything else you wanted to say or share?
No.
Okay. I have one last question. We have the most amazing women who tune in on the podcast. What kind of truth do you think God wants the women listening to know? If you could remind them of anything, or if you could, the woman listening right now, if you could say anything to her or encourage her in any way, what would you tell her?
To always be yourself, because God doesn't want a fake you. He wants the real you.
Do you know what I call that? I call that a mic drop. Do you know what a mic drop is?
Like when you do like something really big.
When you say something really good and then you don't have to say anything else.
Yeah.
Because it's so darn good. We did it, girl. So we did it. We finished the first podcast. Would you come back? Would you come back on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you want to start your own podcast?
Maybe when I get older.
When you get older?
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
I had fun with you. Okay. I love you. Give me a kiss. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do you want to say thank you?
Thank you for listening to my mom's podcast.
Thanks for listening to her mom's podcast. And Hayleigh Ray, you were the best guest. You were the first guest we've ever had, not the last. You said you'll come back if I invite you back. Yep. I think this is going to be the most popular episode. And then my 9-year-old daughter just popped up out of the corner of the room and she's waving around her hand. So she's going to be a guest very soon here. She cannot wait to grab the mic and speak some life into you just like we did today. So I love you so much and we'll see you again next week.